So, what is awakening? Awakening is having existential thoughts and experiences, and the mind is trying to come to terms with this new information. So, our whole life, we have been conditioned. Now, conditioning is being raised in society, everything you're taught, who you are, what's going on, what's happening, what reality is, your purpose, your meaning in society. You are born, you're a child, you learn all the things about society, you try to find a career, you find friends, you find family, make connections. We have all these steps in our lives that we are taught to follow. And with this old information, when we come to terms with new information, it's like, okay, what do I do with that old stuff? And now this is brought to my attention like a whole new reality. So the mind gets in this slippery territory of like, what do I do?
Yep. It's quite the transition. And what we realize is what we were in before was a loop. We're in a loop in society. And then often what we do is once we have an awakening, we pick that up, we transition it over to the other side, and we don't realize that what we end up falling into are other loops within the community.
So in this slippery state where your mind is like, this is my old condition, this is what I know, and now this is new information, in this slippery territory, it seeks the softest place to land. Because when your whole reality, your mind is mixed up, it is in pure confusion. So to protect the identity of the self that we have created and society has created, the next softest place to land is what we call spiritual loops.
Yeah. And in that, I mean, once you go through an awakening, you want to fit into something. You want to validate what you're going through. You want to know that you're not alone. And all of that is understandable, right? When your whole timeline of your entire existence just starts to shatter, you're like, okay, what do I fit into now? What's the thing? Because it's our human conditioning, learned behavior to be in communities, to be in these little silos of people that are like us and things that are like us. And so sometimes through an awakening, you feel the need to revamp and re-identify everything that you are. And there are a lot of distractions along the way. A lot of people think that awakening is this one thing, and really what it is going into your consciousness, evolving your consciousness, seeing what's actually happening. And when it comes to the loops, there are so many. It's literally endless.
Yeah, so like the next place to land is like, okay, what is my identity now? And my identity, it has to transfer to something to stay alive, right? So then it starts going, okay, well, okay, this is reality now, this is awakening. And it's like, okay, well, I've learned about twin flames. Who's my twin flames? What is twin flames? Who are my soul contracts, soul connections? Is the earth flat? Is space real? Like, what even is real? Are there, who are these reptilians? Who are these grays? What are they? What's the point of it? Is the government messing with our reality? Is CERN changing timelines and this and that? And there's more. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, there's just so many rabbit holes that we can go down of seeking information that's ultimately just spiritual jargon, right? There's a lot of this when it comes to even like going into an astrology and connecting with people in that way, the different things that are going on in the world. And all of a sudden, there's all these common enemies that we all within this community are starting to say, like, look out for this, look out for that. And at the end of the day, it's jargon, it's words, it's entertainment, it's exciting, and that's what like the nervous system and the psyche gets into. Is you step into these things that feel so exciting and liberating. And yeah, there's a lot of entertainment in it. Yeah, and all of the things that you can experiment in, there's a lot of exciting, you know, dopamine hits in it all.
It's because like we've been lied to, so now there's like this new reality. It's like, oh, they lied to us, now it's this. Okay, well, what am I going to do with this new information? That's the new identity we create within it.
Absolutely. And they are loops. That's the thing about this is like you can dabble in some of this, but what happens is so many people get stuck for months, for years on end, researching. That's one thing, but also getting so enthralled into a new path that becomes a new identity. It becomes a new obsession. It becomes a new mission, a purpose. And that's actually not what awakening is about at all. It's not taking our societal conditioning, thinking we need to have a purpose. We need to go to college. We need to have the career. We need to graduate. We need to have the family. We need to have the kids. Like that's a purpose in one matrix. And then you end up taking that purpose into this other matrix, thinking you need to save the world. And that is a false loop that not many people are talking about. And it's a scary place to be for a really extended period of time. And that's why we enjoy getting into this, because I've gotten myself stuck in some of these traps because I didn't have anyone to guide me along the way. And the more that I continue to evolve and the more that we have evolved together with these different perspectives, we don't want anybody to be stuck in these spiritual traps because you don't have time for this. It is avoidance. It is spending time just dilly dallying,
Mm-hmm.
really, and stuff that doesn't matter and stuff that's not going to make a difference. And if you think about it, if you've been stuck in some of these traps, especially researching some of these different things that are going on, like thinking about how it truly makes you feel. A lot of times it makes us feel anxious to then discover all of these things are going on in the world. I have to fit into this. I have to fulfill my purpose of that. I'm a Sagittarius, so I have to be this, this, and that. Like, people don't see that we're just taking 3D society and then putting a different, like, set of paint on it, a different color of paint, and calling it something different. Well, it's just a matrix transitioned into something different. So if you're on the awakening path, we don't want you to waste your freaking time doing any of this stuff. Sure, some of it resonates. We're not against all of the things. We're not against information, but what we are against is you wasting your freaking time and not tapping into what truly matters the most on this path.
Mm-hmm. And it's a waste of time getting caught in all this outside distraction because like you don't have time for that because you have to go into your own thoughts, behaviors, patterns, the loops you're in, where you're taking your societal conditioning and you turn it into personal conditioning. And now your mind is in these messes and these loops that it doesn't know how to get out of. And it's like you're seeing reality through your own lens that you've created and not seeing reality as it actually is. So the work after awakening is to unravel how you've been conditioned in every single way, societally and personally. And the personal part is so much harder than the societal conditioning because that's the real deep work where you have to go into like, okay, I felt this way as a kid. I wanted to fit in. So I did all these behaviors and patterns. I became this identity, this person, this character. This character got me this far in life. So it must be able to get me even farther in life until I die. So it's like unraveling how it all started, how you're still using these categories, these characteristics in who you are now. It's like your identity went from what we call like you were asleep and now you're awake. So this new awake identity can take you into even farther into illusion, where the whole purpose is to get you out of illusion, to realize it's been the mind the whole time that's been creating reality for you instead of experience reality as it actually is.
And we have to be vigilant to notice that we've been on this merry-go-round our whole lives. And after you awaken, you can see that merry-go-round that you've just been looping on. And now you have to notice that you just jumped to another merry-go-round and there's a roller coaster down the road. And that's what you really want. You want to hop on that. And so it's hopping off that merry-go-round and being like, that's what I want. And that's what this path is. It's a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. It's not sunshine and rainbows. It's not easy. Like, you really have to be ready, which a lot of people aren't. And that's why a lot of people aren't getting as deep and evolved as humanly possible, because you've got to buy that ticket, jump on the ride, and be like, here we freaking go. But know that you don't have to do it alone. And it's like in these spiritual loops, what people are actually doing is not realizing that it is outside. It's all of these things outside. It's more categorization. And really, you live here. You live in your mind. You live in your body. And if you're continuously seeking to the outside and just trying to paint your house a different color instead of actually building the walls and the foundation and the structure of what's happening inside your house, it doesn't matter what you're getting involved in the outside world. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel unfulfilled. You're going to feel stressed and anxious, thinking that you have to have this greater purpose and you have to figure it all out and you have to study all of these things. That's not how this works. And it's where so many people are getting stuck. And that's why it's our mission, purpose. We don't like using those words, but right now we feel so fulfilled and lit up in getting ourselves off the loops and noticing when we're on the loops, because it happens, and doing the thing that's uncomfortable and hopping on that roller coaster, going to the top, looking down and seeing that drop and being like, what the heck did I get into? This is crazy. And then just allowing it to flow and allowing yourself to feel sensations that maybe you haven't felt before, that can feel scary, but it's not. It's the most exhilarating, thrilling thing that you'll ever do.
Mm-hmm. And like the mission or purpose thing, like we use that jargon because that's the jargon that's understood, but really like this is just our inspiration, our hobby, because we are going through all of this and we want to share what we went through, how we got to where we are. And my personal style is I don't walk on eggshells with it. I don't tiptoe around it. I jump in full speed. And while my style of coaching and being, it may be a bit intense, the purpose for it, and again, purpose is to get through all these traps as quick as possible and into clarity, into experiencing reality in a much more fulfilling way, rather than being trapped in all these loops for years upon years. Like, I want to get myself through all this as quick as possible. And I like to help others get through these loops as fast as possible, because I don't see the point in like diddly dallying in the middle. So yeah, my style is a bit more intense, but there's a difference between how we kind of speak and coach.
Yeah, and it definitely flows. Like, I feel like I definitely have intense forms of empathy when I tap in psychically channeling to what people are experiencing, also what I've experienced. And it's understanding that times are changing. Like, 10 years ago, things were so different. I remember when I did my Reiki training, nobody even knew what Reiki was. And it's so cool now that everybody knows what it is. So there's so many things that are still valuable, that are still useful. There's so much that we have access to that's amazing. And there's the other side of it too. So along this journey with us, yeah, I mean, Tyler's goal, since he has had his first awakening in many, is like, let's do this as fast as possible. That wasn't mine, because I've already been on this journey for 10 years, but it's like we meet it in the middle to understand that the perspective that we've experienced in the years that we've been doing this is just paramount to evolving the quickest. And so if that's what you want and that's what you're ready for, you're definitely in the right place, especially as we begin to really get into specifically what those spiritual traps are. And that's what we're going to be doing next. Is we're going to be knocking those off one by one and really getting into detail to give the like 360-degree perspective on everything that's going on. And we're going to be utilizing both of our channeling skills. So Tyler is an excellent writer, and that's how he channels. I have my notebook, pen to paper, and receiving clairaudiently, and that's how I channel. And that's where most of this information has come from, our personal experience and what we're channeling and what we're tapping into. And the reason why we want you to evolve is you also have your abilities. That's real. Like, you have your abilities, you have your gifts, you have your things that you can tap into that will help you along this journey, making this human experience, because we're here, more evolved and more peaceful and more fulfilling. And then also, it's affecting your soul. We're talking about this on a soul level, what's beyond this human experience, because there is a lot beyond this human experience that is important to know here and now. So that way you are like fully autonomous in the experience that you're having in the 3D, 45D, continue on all the way up, because you are an infinite being.
Yeah, everything you do here in the physical as a human is important, because everything you do and understand and experience is evolving your soul. And it's like, of course, like after you have these awakenings, it's so amazing and grand that you've woken up to this bigger reality, because we felt like such a little human for so long. And it's fun to be in the research phase. Like, it's fun knowing all the stuff the government's doing behind our back, and like kind of getting on them for it, or creating all these communities and stuff talking about it. Like, it is fun to know about the twin flames and the soul connections and astrology and all that. Like, it is fun. Like don't get me wrong. And it's like the cacao ceremonies and the breath work and the group meditations and the mantras and the chanting. Like, all this stuff is important, because it is building a community, making you feel better in this awakening with other people. But never forget that like the true path is really from within on your own. And that's actually what's going to expand you. So we're not saying there's anything wrong with that stuff per se. We're just saying if you keep looping and staying in this stuff, you're going to stay there instead of actually expanding beyond all modalities, all tools, because there's not meant to be a separation between modalities, the tools, and your evolution. Like, it is all one and the same. Meditation, especially the greatest tool, my favorite tool, eventually meditation becomes your reality. You don't have to sit and meditate separate aside from your daily life. Eventually, like, your meditation becomes your whole life, and you don't have to sit and practice it for hours and miss out on all this experience of life that you came here to do as a human. So it's just about grounding it, integrating it, making this experience as pleasurable as possible, while evolving yourself at a soul level as much as possible.
It's funny because I think we've had this conversation with many clients just this week. Like, after we've channeled for them and gone, we go super, super deep into experiences with one-on-one. And it's like, it takes a really strong soul to be able to take this information when it comes to, this is the first layer, right? Getting through the spiritual traps. Once you start actually doing the work of going into the conditioning and peeling back the layers of the things that we actually need to shed from that cluttered home that we have here, that we want to be like pristine, squeaky clean, this place that we live that's absolutely beautiful. Like, it's not easy. And we take slaps to the face every single day within our consciousness, not physically, but we quite literally are getting slapped in the face with realization after breakthrough after breakthrough. And it takes so much strength and resilience, but it is the most fulfilling, dare I say validating. We'll get to the validation later, but you will feel fulfilled. That's the word,
Mhm.
really. And is that not what we're all looking for in
Mhm.
all of this, to feel at peace?
To feel complete, because it's like we've been taught to search outside for everything. And I mean, everyone in the spiritual community is saying this like it's all within, but it really is. Like it's not out there. Only you can complete yourself from within. Like you have all the tools, all the tips, tricks, techniques, but it's like remembering what they were, remembering like it's always been here to feel peace. It's not the seeking, it's not the validation, it's not confirmation, it's not categorization, judging, comparing your environment. It's how you are perceiving reality as a clean slate without your conditioning, without your perception that your mind creates for you to feel reality. Like, what is it just existing? What is just existing as I exist, and just cutting it out right there, just enjoying existing as I am, how I've always been. And that's the purest state we're coming back to and want everyone to come back to.
So buckle up your seatbelt, keep your hands and feet inside the car as we go on this wild ride, this wild roller coaster of what it truly means to awaken.
Mm-hmm. We love you
Let's
guys.
go.
See you on the
Whee!
next one.